Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. By this point, it wouldn't be a shock to anyone if I told you, hey, Akshan is coming to Wild Rift. By this point, we all pretty much know that. However, there's a few things we don't know, like for example, when he's actually going to be released in Wild Rift. The exact release date, we don't know that. Sen and Lucian are coming out within the next 24 hours or so we can expect him soon, honestly, because he is part of this event. A few other things we do know, he is basically what they're calling like a true mid lane marksman, but he's like an assassin type sort of thing, so we know that. However, I can tell you this right now, this dude will be played in a lot of places. He's gonna be played in Baron lane, he's gonna be a carry, you're gonna see him in a lot of places, but it's going to be really interesting to see how he matches up against a lot of these champions in the mid lane. One thing we do know now as well is all of his abilities. And of course, we got gameplay now as well, because League of Legends has come out and released the entire ability overview on this champ. So we're going to be taking a look at this right now and sort of discussing how OP he really is. We're also going to be rating him between 1 and 10. You know, 1 being he's complete potato, and 10, of course, he's completely OP. He should be nerfed before he's even out, because what the heck, man. But yeah, hey, a few things to know. Of course, Akshan on PC is going to be different than Akshan on Wild Rift. However, I can tell you this, he's not going to get a lot of abilities changed the way maybe we saw with Ramis or anything crazy like that. All we're going to see is, you know, the typical balancing. We're going to see sort of like, you know, maybe some passives be changed slightly, or maybe some cooldowns be tweaked here and there, but overall we're not gonna see anything crazy about abilities being tweaked around just completely all over the place. We won't see any of that, I can tell you that right now. He's pretty straightforward, and you know, for joystick, I don't think you need to really switch him up that much. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the ability overview. I'll read you guys first the ability description, and then I'll walk you guys through what exactly he does. You know, we're gonna talk about the gameplay and whatnot. So of course, his passive, Dirty Fighting. Every 3 hits from Akshan's attacks and damaging abilities deal a burst of physical damage. If the target was a champion, Akshan also gains a shield. After attacking, Akshan fires a second attack that deals reduced physical damage. The second shot can be cancelled like a regular basic attack. If Akshan cancels the second shot, he gains a burst of move speed. So if we take a look here at the gameplay, keep an eye out for that second basic attack, and what that basically means is that after he does the first basic attack, if he holds his ground, he's gonna quickly shoot it off another basic attack that does reduced damage. We take a look here, the third ability is gonna give him a shield, and it's also gonna unmark the enemy champ. Now no, the reason why he got the shield is because he's attacking a champ. He won't get a shield from attacking a jungle monster or minions, it's only champions. Now let's take a look at the second part, which is canceling that basic attack. So after you basic attack once, you quickly just, you know, slightly move to cancel it, and that will give you a burst of move speed. So let's take a look at that. So you can see here, he's gonna go for that basic attack, and he quickly cancels the second attack by moving forward, and you can see that he gains movement speed. You know, you can see the speed boost sort of animation, you can see escape moving, and so that shows you he gained a bit of move speed. So really cool passive to keep in mind. Overall, you know, when you have a passive like this, you're already like, this dude is pretty strong. And now let's move on to his first ability, or his A. Akshan throws a boomerang that deals physical damage and reveals enemies hit, extending its range each time it hits an enemy. Enemies can be hit once as the boomerang goes out and once as it returns. So let's take a look at how that looks, and I'll sort of, you know, give you guys a rundown what exactly that meant. So we can see him throw it here, and you guys will notice 2 things right away. Every time you hit an enemy, the boomerang extended further. So think maybe like Seraphim's ultimate. If you hit one enemy, it extends out, and the more enemies it hits, the further out it goes. The other thing you'll notice is that the boomerang applied the passive. It marked the enemy champ when it went, and it also marked it again when it came back. So if Akshan right now basic attacks that champ, he will get the shield off, because, you know, through basic attacks that passive is proc. One thing I really like is that when you think boomerang, you think sort of like the ability making like a U-turn type thing, you know, but in this case it's just straight out, which is awesome. So there's a lot of play potential out of that. But anyways, let's move on to his B ability, which is going rogue. And now this ability has a passive, inactive. It's just like there's so much packed into this one. And so the passive, when an enemy champion kills one of Akshan's allies, they are marked as scoundrels. So you can see right here in this short clip that after Senna dies, the enemy champ is automatically marked, and you can see sort of at the top how there's one little yellow mark. That basically lets you know how many champs this enemy has killed, and if you kill that champ, how many of your allies will be resurrected. And again, we can see here after Sen and Lucian die, this enemy automatically gets 2 marks at the top. You guys can see the little 2 dots filled in. That lets you know how many allies will be resurrected. The next part is the active. So Akshan becomes camouflage for a short duration or indefinitely while near terrain. So near terrain, he becomes camouflage, but we can see something interesting here. When he's moving towards this marked target, he has a little bit of move speed and he's camouflaged. So during this time, Akshan can see a trail leading towards the scoundrels, and he gains move speed and mana regeneration. So if you look here, as he's moving towards, you can see that he has movement speed and he's camouflage. However, when he's moving away, he loses the move speed and then he gets out of the camouflage. And then the next part is on takedown, he gains bonus gold and all lives killed by the scoundrel are resurrected. And then the scoundrel status is also removed from the enemy. So if we look here, you can see that after he kills the enemy champ, Akshan basic attacks, and after the enemy champ dies, you can see a gold animation right above him is sort of like gold dropping. That lets you know that he gained gold. And then after, you can see the respawn in base, which is insane. OP. Like, I'm really interested to see how this whole resurrection thing is gonna, you know, sort of unfold, because that's an interesting mechanic, honestly. Really strong. This ability overall is super OP. And next, we got Heroic Swing. Akshan fires a hook shot that embeds in the first terrain hit. While embedded, he can recast the swing around the terrain in the cast direction, firing physical damage bullets at the nearest enemy while swinging. While swinging, he can recast again to jump off in the direction of the cursor and fire a final shot. Heroic Swing's cooldown resets when Akshan earns a takedown on an enemy champ. Basically, the way this ability works is a lot like Camille's abilities. So if you throw your hook towards a terrain, you automatically can recast it. Now, during this recast, you basically do a drive-by. If there's an enemy champ nearby, he's getting bursted down. So insanely OP kid. Like, tell me this dude is not insane. Like the hook shot, like how you play around his passive, the resurrection, camouflage, like this dude has a lot. He has pretty much everything. Finally, the ultimate. Akshan locks onto an enemy champ and begins channeling power into his gun to store bullets. At the end of the duration or after recasting, Akshan unleashes the stored bullets, each dealing physical damage based on missing health to the first minion, champ, or structure hit. Akshan can move normally and cast Heroic Swing while channeling the ultimate. One thing to know, you can basically body block for an ally. If that dude gets targeted, you can body block for him, because this all hits basically the first thing that gets in the way. So minions, champ, or structure. Now, something cool to know, you are not stuck in place when you're channeling this. You can swing, and you can also move forward, back. It's just insane. And get this, you're channeling and then you heroic swing maybe around the front line because you maybe targeted the carry. You swing around and sort of get this channeling around the front line. And now you got the carry dead, and you already set up your team up for success by making such an insane play. Like, there's a lot of insane play potential like that. Now, out of 10, I would have to rate this dude 9. Like, definitely up there. Of course, I don't know the exact cooldowns and, you know, ratios and all of that stuff, but this dude is gonna be pretty strong, I can tell you that much. And look, I send the Wild Rift dev team all my energy because they're gonna need it when it comes to balancing this champ, or else this dude's gonna like completely change the meta and just wreak havoc. It's gonna be fun playing this dude for sure though, I can tell you that much. But yeah, what do you guys think of Akshan? Let me know down below. And look, Senna Lucian, they're out soon. I'm coming out with some gameplays later on, so stick around. Make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe if you're new. Why not? You know, it's free. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.